Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Dragon Heist, a wondrous tale of urban adventure that we'll be streaming here on Javelin Entertainment every Tuesday, starting at 6 p.m. Central. If you missed the last chapter, you can find it on the channel page or by clicking on the playlist link down in the description. Last time, our adventurers tracked down Miss Uza, who was sobbing in a tavern, and she led them to her house and told them they could use chicken gizzards from her kitchen to help rescue her cat from a monster that she had trapped in the house. The party went into the basement and discovered the cat hiding in a corner. As Ezra tried to go and get the cat, a large worm-like creature attacked them from behind. Durizen was poisoned with a paralysis, but Nadari's dad rap was just enough to help him fight it off, and Ezra sprinted out as the others covered her retreat with the cat. Ezra then handed off the cat to Nadari and raced back down to fight the creature, but her curse continued to be a bit of a problem. Pat's acidic brew was able to finish off the creature, however, before it was able to make a snack out of Ezra. Pats then tried to carve up the creature, but the tentacles still had a bit of latent poison, and he fell to the paralysis. Uza was overjoyed and rewarded the players a bonus of 100 golden dragons, and they decided to go grab food at the Skewered Dragon before visiting the Old Xoblob Shop again. While near the docks, Nadari delivered the handkerchief to the tiefling girl to complete her mission, and Pats went and visited Dorin, the animal tamer, at the Sea Maiden's Faire to ask about an egg he had gotten from the Old Xoblob Shop. Meanwhile, Nadari went and visited Thurston, apologized for being a little harsh against him, but found him back in his performer role. The party then went to report their success to Renaer, who extended an invitation to attend an opera and meet up with an old friend of his, and gave them access to his very large closet to dress in formal attire. The party headed to the opera and enjoyed a delectable meal before attending the exquisite performance. During the intermission, they went to meet Mirt and ended up joining with the Harpers, getting fancy pens and a job to determine the trustworthiness of some new potential recruits. Before they all headed out, Nadari slyly swiped a few elegant handkerchiefs, and the party now finds themselves on the streets of the city late into the evening. So, as you all look around, the night air kind of coolly blowing through the sky, and the streets mostly quiet at this hour, but a few people exiting the opera with you and making their way back into the sea castle and northwards, the northern portion of the city. It's late into the evening, probably close to midnight. And what would you all like to do?
Well, I'm beat.
But as
We had a
tired as I
busy
am,
day.
I don't know if I want to sleep in this dress. Do we have our clothes with us? I figured we don't.
No, you probably all left your stuff at Renaer's.
Renaer.
Oh, gosh darn it.
Would Renaer still be up at this hour? I don't know if he's a night owl.
He probably has a butler to let us in. Or maybe
could
he just
certainly
left our
try.
clothes out on the front porch. That's what I do.
Well, I also would like to go get the wheelbarrow.
Good point. Well, we'll pay him a visit, and if not, I
That's
guess we'll
fine.
just
It'll
get a
be a
little
late
extra
night.
walk in.
Not
Oh,
like anything
boy.
bad ever happens on these streets.
That's true. It's a little nicer part of town.
Alright, so you guys are headed back
Yeah,
up towards
except for the
Renaer's?
hanky stealer.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that
I'm
damned
shaking with
hanky
fear.
thief.
gotta protect my hankies.
The thief who was given most of the hankies.
No, it being her own headcanon is the best.
Yes.
Alright, so you all are headed back to Renaer's?
I think so.
Yep, looking dandy.
Alright. And luckily these streets are well patrolled, and you guys taking the main roads back up towards his estate find that there's no one who causes you any sort of trouble, and there are multiple guards around. And as you approach past the gardens, you actually see what looks to be a city watchman standing next to a wheelbarrow outside of the estate.
Sir, how can I help you? I see you're standing by my wheelbarrow.
Oh, I suppose this is for you. Mr. Neverember told me to wait until you could reclaim your items. And he kind of points down to the wheelbarrow that has a very neatly wrapped knapsack in it.
Well, thank you. How long have you been waiting here?
Only about an hour or so.
Oh, well, that ain't too bad. Here, Durizen will give him, I'll give him 5 copper. Go enjoy your night.
Thank you kindly, sir. You all enjoy yours as well. Safe travels.
Mm. Alright. Durizen will... I guess we'll start walking back.
All right, here we go. Thank goodness. I did not want to sleep in this dress.
Hats jumps in the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, and it's
All right, right on.
It's not too long of a journey from Renaer's estate back to Troll Skull Alley and the large manor that still occupies a darkened corner of the alley, but you all make it back to your home away from home, and it's very dark inside, kind of doing your best to light a few candles as you find your ways out of these large and a bit unwieldy but elegant pieces of clothing, and back into your normal attire for bedding down for the night. Is there anything that anyone would like to do before you all take a long rest?
Durizen will unload the kegs and put them down in the wine cellar. But then he'll go do his nightly rituals before going to bed. Because I imagine it's like 2 o'clock in the morning at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty early in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is bedtime.
I'll probably check in with Leaf, but not really say much, but just,
Please-
hi, we're home.
Please tell me the egg is in the knapsack. Please tell me my egg wasn't stolen.
Oh, what have the
Yes.
raccoons done while we've been gone?
Oh dear.
Your egg is indeed in the knapsack. And
Alright.
there is an effort
Alright.
kind of making sure to board up the windows. It seems that, at least for now, the raccoons have been kept out after going to extra measures to seal up some of the lower portions of the building.
Alright, before I go to sleep, I'm going to place the egg in my room on a table, and I'm going to booby trap every single entrance to my room to make a loud noise if anyone enters.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Ain't nobody touching this!
So like all the doors and windows, you're like taking these like strings and stringing up like pots and pans to make a loud
Yep.
noise if someone passes through.
Exactly that.
Oh, he
Alright,
learned
And even
some
the
things from
hole
Spider
from my
Woman.
bedroom into the kitchen, also covering up with a heavy crate and all that.
Okay, go ahead and make me a survival check.
Survival.
Oh, survival.
Thank you. I was hoping someone would
I am
do it.
very wise.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
good.
So, as it's already about 2 a.m., you all spend the first 45 minutes of your rest hearing, like just as you're about to get to rest, about every 5 or 10 minutes, there's a loud clanging from down in the kitchen of different pots and pans as Pat's kind of curses as one of his booby traps malfunctions in some way, but eventually, after about an hour, he finally gets them all to a place where they're at least not actively triggering every 5 minutes, and it takes a little bit longer than you all would like, and kind of checking in on him to make sure he's okay every once in a while, but you all do finally reach a long rest, and it's probably about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning before you finally kind of stretch and wake up. Nadara, you're up a little bit earlier after your trance, and you kind of make your way back down. Leaf didn't seem to be too active in the night, but you kind of make your way back down to the den and kind of as you do most mornings, kind of share a few quick tunes with the spectral inhabitant of the manor.
And of course, I will go into a very dramatic story of the opera and the different foods and beverages we had, and the wonderful performance, and how I had never seen anything like that, and talking, talking, talking as she does.
Indeed. And it's about most everyone else has not quite made it up from their rest yet. But Nadari, as you're kind of sharing these stories in the den with Leaf, you do hear kind of a light rap against the door. It's maybe about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh boy. I suppose that I'll go get that then. She'll be in the middle of probably telling a way too long dramatic story about last night to Leaf and stop and get up and head to the front door.
Yeah, I'm a bit busy in here. I yell from the kitchen.
And you kind of Nadar, you look in and you see Pat, who's got like some bags underneath his eyes as he's kind of half tangled up in miscellaneous string, kind of doing his best to kind of watch intermittently as he takes naps long enough to get a rest, but then kind of wakes up to look and make sure nobody's disturbed any of the traps or booby traps.
Oh no.
But you eventually get over towards the door, and as you open it up, you see a man standing there, maybe just under 6 foot, with kind of a multicolored, but all earthly tones of these robes and kind of a poncho draped over his shoulders, a thin scarf hanging around his neck with a bright yellow ascot, and a wide-brimmed hat that kind of wraps around his head, kind of a bearded face, a human man, maybe about in his mid-30s, and as he kind of steps forward, he kind of tilts his hat towards you. Hello there. My name is J.B. Nevercott. Do you have a minute to discuss a business proposition?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm the most qualified of the house, but...
Actually, I'm interested in speaking with you privately, if that's all right.
Me?
Yes, you. You are...
Well, I'm not sure how I'd take to, strangers coming to my door asking for private meetings.
Well, you see, I'm here to... I guess I should tell you a bit more. I am what you might more commonly refer to as a haberdasher. Someone who sells items for accessorizing, perhaps. I typically do business outside of the city, but I'm interested in setting up a local place, an outpost of sorts to facilitate business within the town. And I had heard that you all are renovating this tavern, and I had hoped that I might be able to facilitate some goods. Perhaps set up a small shop front either near the porch or the exterior of the building, or perhaps even in a corner of the tap room, something that is amenable to your business. I'm sure we
Well,
could draw a certain crowd for each other and be mutually beneficial.
well, without consulting the other members of the house and, quite frankly, knowing what it is that, what kind of goods and the quality of them, I think there is some left to be discussed, but I'm intrigued.
Wonderful. Well, I certainly just wanted to proposition the idea to you all before facilitating things further. There is, it seems, quite a bit of work that still needs to be done in the place. But I did want to at least come and meet you all in person and drop off a gift of sorts. He kind
A
of
gift?
holds out a small box. Yes, for you, I believe. You are Miss Nadari?
This. All right. She puts out her hand.
He kind of hands over the small box to you. And, well, I wish you the best of luck, and look forward to meeting you again. Good day.
Well, is he leaving?
He's kind of turning around, but if you call at him, he kind of looks over his shoulder back at you.
So I take it the person that sent this box is the one who sent you?
Oh no, my business is, like I said, to establish another outpost for Nevercott's haberdashery. A friend just had me drop something off for you.
She kind of raises her eyebrows and nods.
As he turns back down to the road and begins heading away, are you opening up the small parcel?
Yeah, I'll make sure I shut the door first. Kind of kick the door back with my foot while I'm holding the box and walk over to the bar, sit down, and open the box.
As you kind of open it up, inside you find a very neatly folded silk handkerchief, identical to the one that you had given to the small tiefling girl. And on top of it is a folded piece of paper.
Well, I didn't think I'd get the first of my collection back. She'll open the piece of paper.
Inside you see a note written in an elegant hand. Well done. You performed well. I have another mission for you. Easy to pull off. So easy, in fact, a gang of street urchins could be able to do it, but I would like to see how you accomplish such a thing. I want you to deliver an exposé to Gaxley Rudderbust, a publisher of a local broadsheet called the Daily Trumpet, without his knowing who wrote it or where it came from. You'll find his office at the corner of Emar Street and Stallion Street in the North Ward. Leave the story on his desk. J.
Yep, at this time Durzen's gonna stomp down the stairs. Alright. Good morning, everybody.
Who was that at the door?
Wait, there's somebody at the door?
Yeah. Well, you were busy sleeping, and Ari had to answer the door, because I was cooking.
I'm sorry, somebody kept me up all fucking night banging pots and pans!
At this point, Ezra will come
Oh,
down the stairs too, like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And she looks a little disheveled, like her hair's down, she's not even up in her signature ponytail yet. Oh,
Oh, so, man, at the door? What was that? Was it important?
She lightly shuts the box and looks up. A man who was hoping for a bit of a proposition for us. He was hoping to expand his business and he has a haberdashery and, well, he was looking for possibly setting up a spot outside or really anywhere. He was very interesting and left very quickly.
oh.
But
Did he
Oh,
say
that's not suspicious as
what he
shit.
sold?
he wasn't very
Some dude?
Yes. But I fear that well, I guess not necessarily fear, but I believe he is associated with the one who kidnapped me.
Oh. Oh, is this more stealing napkins? Or, what is it? Your handkerchiefs? Something like that?
Not exactly. I feel that there might be something political in this.
No, well, that's certainly not something I want to get involved in anything political.
That seems like it might be a little sticky. What did you say you had to do again?
It's a story I have to take and deliver without them knowing who it was.
And Nadari, that story is kind of folded in with the note as well.
What's the story say? Is it a good story? Bedtime story?
Perhaps I'll read it after breakfast?
Well, perfect
It was
time
a
because
long night
breakfast
last
is
night.
served. I
Is that
come
what I'm
out with
smelling?
some giant purple scrambled eggs.
Oh, my
boy, I
favorite
wonder where
color.
this came from.
Gotta make sure to use it before it gets stolen.
Very true.
Are we sure this one was for eating? Absolutely sure.
Well, it is now.
That's
He
fair.
makes
Wait.
things as you cook, so hopefully he's okay.
What was that?
Don't worry. I already took the first bite. It's delicious.
I was about to say, sorry, I was saying when you said what was that, that usually cooks taste things as they cook them, so hopefully the eggs were fine because he had probably already tasted it.
Zach.
I don't know. Sometimes he just hands me things and says, try this. And I'm not sure he's tried it at any point in his cooking process.
Hey, sometimes you just need the experience of a different palate. A reptilian palate, you know?
Well, sometimes that shit's nasty. But anyway.
But you didn't know before.
And I
That's-
didn't need to.
Ezra's just already eating.
And Ezra, as you kind of bite into these eggs, they are incredibly delicious. Like, unnaturally so. That this is by far the best thing that Pat's has ever made, and a lot of his stuff really isn't that bad.
Ooh.
Oh my
See.
gosh, Durin, start eating right now. This is amazing.
Well, if you say so. There's a
Told
dig
you.
in.
And Nadari, you should have a copy of that note in your journal now,
Oh, thank you.
if you want to reference any of the details. But yes, as you all kind of sit down and begin to eat, to all of you, it tastes very good. It's similar to a traditional egg, but there is a mixture of... You don't know what Pat's did to it, whether his spice blend was good. You didn't even know he had spices back there, but he must carry some on him. Or if it's just the proper way that he fried the egg or scrambled them. It's impressive. They're delicious. And as you quickly eat through it, you find that you look in and it's gone before you really got the satisfaction of filling up. And it's good, but you wish there was a little bit more.
Well, I know I was kind of trash talking, but you got any more of it back there? This is mighty
Hey,
fine.
Hey, Xoblob only had the one egg. If he had more, I would have bought like 12 dozen. A dozen dozens. And that's a
Oh.
lot of dozens.
Man, who knows? Maybe you'll have another one. We'll have to check.
Oh, yay.
Maybe once we get this place up and running, I could set up a supply chain with Old Xoblob. Or maybe he could just sell me whatever the hell laid those eggs. Because I need more of those.
Well, yes, but he wouldn't be able to tell you anything about them, so we definitely want to test them before giving them to customers.
Well, we did just test them. Come on! They were delicious!
Yes,
That's
but
all you
something
need.
tells me that just because it was... Well, this was amazing, but you might want to be sure that it's the exact same thing, is my point.
Oh, I get it. This is like one of those laws and regulations that you have to have when you open a restaurant, right? Is that what we're doing?
Sure.
Hey, I saw
Okay,
the law
okay,
sheet. I don't
I
think there's
get
any
it now.
food
Alright,
on the
I'll-
code legal. Just don't
Alright.
poison anybody.
Alright, I'll play by your game since I'm now law-abiding citizen.
Well, I'm not a stickler for all of them, but it would be nice after we put all the money into this place that we don't harm somebody right off the bat.
Would not be good.
That would definitely hurt business. I can see your train of thought here.
It occasional rule breaking isn't so bad. She takes a handkerchief out of her pouch and wipes her mouth with it after eating.
Jeez, how many of those do you have?
Not enough.
What I like to hear.
So you get kidnapped and then you come back with a handkerchief addiction? What the hell is wrong with this city?
Just my way of coping.
Oh, okay. I understand that.
So, what does that note say? Now we got breakfast out of the way. What sort of story they want us to drop off?
Man, you really don't let me even let my food settle before you were that curious, huh?
Well, I don't even. I woke up and there was some strange man handed you some strange shit. I'm a little curious, not gonna lie.
All right. All right. I suppose we've waited long enough. She reluctantly opens it and begins to read.
As you read through this expose, it details out in extreme detail what seems to be a cult of devil worship among unnamed noble families within the city. The story mentions orgies and secret deals happening behind closed doors and goes into some intricate details, though nothing specific enough to identify who might be involved.
Ooh. The spicy fun gossip, I see.
Yeah, but I can see why no one would want their name on this.
I wonder what they're... Well, I suppose it's enough to bring up a stir. Is there a whole lot of proof in this, or is it just kind of a accusation?
There's not really proof or... actually, go ahead and make me an insight check.
Okay.
Do that for this. Yeah,
Well.
so there's not any details of any proof. Like I said, there's no specifics on who's named or who might be involved. It seems to be more of the story itself.
Okay.
So you're just supposed to put it on this guy's desk? What if he just, decides not to print it?
Well, then I suppose that's on him. My job's only to deliver it.
That is
Okay.
true.
Yeah, he probably has some kind of eyes and ears on the place just to make sure that you did it.
He did say that it could be done by pretty much anyone, but wanted to see... I don't know. This all feels like such a test. But when it comes to people you don't know, I suppose it does take some to be able to trust them. It's a two-way street in this case.
Yep,
But hey,
you get kidnapped,
paid.
and then you drop off some weird accusatory letter that's not going to cause any ripples.
Hey, they did do something for Ezra.
That is very true. At
Yeah,
least they-
how are you feeling after all that?
I feel great. I mean, I slept a little longer than usual, but I feel pretty good right now. I don't know about strength-wise. Might have to test that out later, or
Arm
do a few push-ups. Or...
She smacks her elbow onto the table.
All right, you're on.
Pat's 3 gold, Ezra kicks her ass.
Deal.
Hey now.
Hey,
What?
don't worry
Don't-
about it. Just side bets. Come on. You got
You
it.
don't trust these guns, and she just flexes her tiny little stick
Get 'em.
arms.
I got faith in the kid.
I just wanted to make a bet.
All right, I won't let you down, Durzin.
Just don't break the floor this time.
Yeah, we'll try to avoid that.
As long as the gold stays with us, it's fine, because it's all going towards the renovation.
Oh, I suppose. And she lets Cosmo out of the sleeve and onto the table. And he's kind of scurries over, so he's potentially not going to get thrown to the floor with her.
Oh dear.
Let him be the ref.
Yes. Hold the little round cards up. Ding ding ding.
All right. And you both can... Actually, let me do this so it's easier. Yes, you both can roll me an athletics check.
All right. Oh. Wait. Is that right? Oh. Okay. Oh, Christ.
Yeah!
Well, damn.
Yeah, so Ezra kind of sits
Oh my-
down, and
Ugh.
Nadari is just ready, and Ezra, you feel like you should have more strength than you really do. You still haven't gotten quite used to this, and you kind of try and push, and even though you think you're probably still stronger than Nadari, at least maybe in this regard, she's ready and you're very much not, and she just takes the moment of opportunity and slams your fist down on the other side.
Well, that was... Sorry, no offense, but that was unexpected. Ooh.
Yeah,
You've been
maybe-
working out
Not here,
sorry.
folks. Once in a lifetime.
Yeah, maybe you should stay out of some of the fights with that.
You tried just like,
that ring seems to be really taking a toll on you.
yeah, have you tried like not wearing that ring anymore?
I don't think that's how it works.
Well, I can try.
Yeah, but that's exactly
Never
how
hurts
rings
to
work.
try. She'll just, I
Oh,
guess,
it's a
take it off
magic
and...
ring. Well, have you tried just not wearing it for a little bit?
We can certainly give it a whirl. She'll take it off and I guess set it on the table. Don't want to keep it on her with putting it in her pocket or anything.
Yeah, you pull off the ring and
It-
set it down on the table.
Cool.
Make sure the raccoons don't steal it. Or
Yeah,
them
They can do-
gnomes.
They can do
Don't let
whatever
that
they
just-
want with it. I
No,
don't want it
don't let
anymore.
that just disappear, because you want to break this curse if it's attached to this ring.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
don't want just anybody walking off with that thing.
You're right.
You know where we
and
could
she'll-
go.
That being said, I'm not picking it up.
Well, she'll just, I guess, either put it like up with her stuff, or yeah, I guess she'll just put it in her pocket. She's not wearing it. It'll be on her person.
All right.
Or,
You kind of tuck it away.
Andari, can I borrow a hanky to wrap it in and then put it in my pocket?
What makes you think I have a hanky? She smirks at you, looking very suspicious.
3 hankies.
I heard
sticking
your
out of
allergies were
pockets.
pretty bad this time of year.
Ah, you know, I do have a spare. She'll take one of them out and hand it to her.
Thank you very much. And she does like a little theatrical little, like little curtsy or bow.
Anything for you, my dear.
She'll wrap the ring up and then stick it in her pocket. Just to be safe, I guess.
All right. You do so, and tucking it in tightly, kind of looking back, kind of testing out your muscles. You don't really feel any different, but maybe?
We'll give it a little time. It took a while for the curse to start up, so if that's really all it takes is taking the ring off, then we'll see. Ugh.
Well, I'm always happy to challenge you again. She pats you on the back.
Oh, I'll definitely take you up on that offer. Give me about a half a day. Gotta test this out again.
All right. So as you all kind of sit around the table for the morning, the day is still out in front of you. How would you like to tackle the many goals that you have still.
Well, I think we should give Trench some more time to work things out. Maybe we should see him later this afternoon. That leaves us time to get your thing done.
We do need to head over to the yawning portal at some point. Talk to those the doppelgangers.
Yeah?
Austin, do I know where I need to deliver this?
Yeah, it's not very far. It's at MR Street and Stallion.
Yep.
Sorry, I've been distracting the cat.
It's
Okay.
only a couple blocks.
Wow, that's a hop, skip, and a jump away.
It won't take real long to get that done, though I'm not sure you want to do that in the bright daylight either.
If something tells me I should probably not put my face with that, especially
Hmm.
since we live so close.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That thing reeks of trouble. But I'm definitely willing to start the day with a brisk walk down to the tavern. Wouldn't mind having Durin pour a drink.
Sure. Yeah, we could definitely pay Durin a visit. Check it out down there, see how it's going.
See if we can get any info about these doppelgangers.
Yeah.
I wonder how
Aye, aye,
business has
Captain.
been without us.
Terrible, I'm sure.
I wonder how many poor kids get eaten by trolls.
And in your time that you've been in or around the yawning portal, you haven't seen many children go in there.
Well, it was a young adventurer who got eaten last time.
Yeah,
Not compared to
Children.
Durzin.
that's fair.
Yeah, not a child, just a kid. Wet behind the ears.
Ah!
Didn't deserve poor troll death.
All right, so you all are headed towards the yawning portal then?
Yes, I think
Sure.
so.
Think so?
I'm leaving the wheelbarrow behind.
Oh, but I like it when you take the wheelbarrow.
Does
I
the
know.
wheelbarrow have a name?
Oh, it's a wheelbarrow.
You know, you could name it something for fun.
What do you name a wheelbarrow?
Wheelbarrow, wheelie, barrowy.
You know,
Have
its
lots of
name
names.
is wheelbarrow.
Now that's not
Alright.
any fun. That's breaking the system. Cats at least had some idea.
Nope. Official name, wheelbarrow. Put it in the will.
Tis
WB it
wheelbarrow.
is.
WB.
The big
I'm
dub.
not calling it that.
Oh, you don't have to. I think it'll get the same effect if I call it that in front of you.
Durizen will start walking.
Wait.
Wait up. All right.
Dad.
So as you all take the trek back down the high road to get to the yawning portal again, roughly about an hour walk, but in the bright morning of the spring, it's a very pleasant walk. People out, you can smell the smells of the baking guild and the bread cooking.
Wait, there is a baking guild?
Yes, there is a baker's guild.
Oh.
Is it filled with like little gnomes?
Not exactly. There are some gnomes. But yes, the Master Baker's Hall is right off the high road. Probably purposefully so, and seems to be right across from a place that constantly has music. So you get music and these just wafting smells that creates just this area that people love to hang out with just to enjoy the pleasant aromas and sounds. But you continue on further south seeing people going about their day as it is in full swing. And by the time you reach the awning portal, it's probably almost about noon. And you come in and see that the tavern is pretty much the same way that you all had left it and remember it. The lively bit of music that comes from a few bards on one side, and the tavern's placed around the 3 floors. And you do see Durin behind the counter with his wife Renaer.
Damn, this place packed.
Oh, now I can see.
Hey guys, look, I found Dorin.
Oh, is she still on the map too? Whoops.
Oopsies.
Whoops. Just a wee bit of cleanup. But yes, it is quite busy with miscellaneous tavern goers, all kind of grabbing lunch at this hour and talking among themselves.
I have to say, it's nice to be back and see it lively as always.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, this place always has good
So
atmosphere.
But, what's that name of that guy we were supposed to meet up with? Like 3 strings or something?
Yeah, that's the gang, I think.
Oh. Gotcha.
But that's all I have in my notes, so I have no idea past that.
Well, we've got 3 strings, and who's a bard here, and then I believe, I think it was Bonnie, who was a waitress here. And that's all I remember.
I
I
was on my
only-
brother's computer, so I could not take notes, unfortunately.
I only wrote down 3 strings, the bard. Go figure.
Well,
So I will
let's
be
get-
looking around.
Yeah, let's get a couple drinks, go talk to Durin, see if he knows anything. Anything he can tell us, at least.
It could be a good place to start.
I mean, if Bard frequents the place, you'd think he'd know something.
Yeah, so Durizen, you kind of make your way up towards the bar, and Durin sees you and greets you with a wave, and after talking to a few of the patron, eventually makes his way over to you. And what do we owe this pleasure? It's good to see you all back. You're here for food, drink, bit of both.
Bit of both, a little more. We actually got, unfortunately, some questions. Though, we would like some drink and food. You can always find quality here.
Certainly, what can I get you?
I'll take a nice dark ale and just whatever you got going for the lunch special.
We got some smoked salmon fresh out of the bay.
I'll take some
Gimme.
of that, thank you.
I'll take some.
I'll have one of those as well, please. That sounds good.
Wonderful. You would just want to do a silver piece apiece, and I'll bring you out some nice smoked salmon with some ale to go with it.
That sounds good to me.
As you toss over the coins, Durin, he kind of gives a wave to Renaer, who heads back into the back to grab your meals and prepare them, and he kind of looks back at you. So you said you were here for other business as well?
Yeah, we just need a little bit of info if you can help us out about a bard by the name of 3 String.
Yeah, 3 strings. He plays usually with a group over there. He kind of points across, and you can see 3 bards. One kind of a gnomish fellow with bright orange hair and a large, kind of bushy mutton chops that blend into a beard. An elegant red-haired woman who's just kind of sitting back at the table, and then a third, a human man with kind of a lute laying across his lap and a elegant purple cape across his shoulders. The one in the purple there, that's a metronome, or 3 strings, as most people call him. He's a bit unusual, but he plays a decent song for only having 3 strings on his lute.
Why only 3?
He probably broke off the others.
But what do you mean really by unusual? Like, he's just kind of funny, not all there.
Closer to the latter. He's a bit, what you might call socially awkward.
No!
Well, I can understand that.
A kindred soul.
Osblin and Sindri are a bit more becoming if you just need a bard for an event or something. But if you need to talk the 3 strings perfectly, he gets along alright for the most part.
I think we're actually going to have to go ask them a few questions. Is there anything else we really need to know about them? I really think there should be.
I can't think of anything important.
Well, I think we'll enjoy our food and then go have a nice chat.
Please. And as you speak of it, Maher comes by with the 4 plates balanced on her arms and holding the jugs in the other hand and kind of just rolls them across the bar as they kind of line out roughly in front of you. And Durizen kind of fixes them up before being handed the flagons and placing one down next to each of the 4 plates. There you are. Please enjoy.
Oh, thank you.
Always do when we're at the yawning portal. Go eat.
Let's go back to our old table.
Yep.
Does it still smell like
Is
dirty?
that why it's empty? It's stain that just smells.
Ugh.
No, it doesn't seem the table itself smells anymore, but
Pat stuck a Durizen cookie to the bottom of it.
A Durizen cookie.
Durizen cookie.
It happened.
It happened!
It really, it's just named the Durizen Special.
Oh!
Oh, hopefully Durizen never learns that.
Well, yes, as you all go back to the table, which is one of the few that doesn't have at least one other person next to it, you find a spot and sit down, have your lunch, and it's all right. It's a decent for tavern food, nothing incredible, but the smoked salmon is definitely a solid choice for a meal.
You know, Pets,
Oh.
you've been spoiling us.
But how is the ale?
The ale is superb as always. Not the
Most important thing.
most extravagant of drinks, but for a hearty lunch, it's the best bet.
Well,
What
Pets,
does
you've been
Pat-
spoiling us.
I know I have. I spoil everyone.
This food is good, but... Well, I've gotten quite used to your cooking, I think.
It's not adventurous enough. Plays it safe, which I guess is a reasonable tactic if you're a popular tavern, but... I really wish Durin let me have more control when I was over here. Dang, we really need to get that tavern up and coming. I need
So
to be
are
the
we
boss of my own kitchen.
So then we were not planning to, have a popular tavern?
Sorry, this is a milk toast tavern. It's big. It has its draw, and I point towards the yawning portal. But it ain't gonna be as exciting as, Troll Skull durian cookies,
Okay, if that's our specialty, I'm not sure anyone's going to come to the tavern, and I don't know if anyone's going to come to the street.
Or
Alright,
maybe
how
if they
about-
can't smell.
Mystery eggs. Mystery scrambled eggs. It'll be a
Mystery
mystery
That
to them,
one
but
will
not to
sell.
us. It might still be a mystery to us, but that's part of the fun.
Sunday special. I don't know what it is. Well,
Yeah, it's mystery meat. Never had mystery meat? It's the best kind of meat.
I've had plenty of mystery meat. It varies.
Exactly! That's the fun part!
So I think, Nadar, you should do the talking on this one. If I don't know anything about talking to bards, and I really don't know what doppelganger should be.
Well, is there anything we were specifically supposed to ask them?
Yeah, or does Ezra kind of like what exactly is a doppelganger? Because she has no clue.
I am so glad you asked that because I didn't want to be the first to ask.
Uh-oh. And Dari, do you know?
I would imagine she knows.
You've definitely heard stories or rumors. You've never seen one in the flesh, but you roughly know what you've heard from different stories around, both above and below.
Well, while I haven't seen one in person, a doppelganger is something like a double of a person, somebody that looks and acts a lot like another, but isn't them.
And then Patch just slams his fist on the table. Like that fucker that is me on the pirate ship?
Durizen will
I'm
put
an
his
audiolist.
Patch, calm down.
Yeah, Ezra was gonna like put her hand on his shoulder, like Pat, it's okay, but sounds like it, yes.
Don't worry, everybody gets really excited about salmon.
It's very good, okay? Calm down.
I feel like they're just staring at us partly because of the screaming, but partly because look at us and look at everybody else here. Well, perhaps it would have been helpful to know a bit about these people, but I know we were told not to make them uncomfortable, but is there anything that we were supposed to ask specifically? I remember it just kind of being...
I just remember it being kind of testing their trustworthiness and like kind of
Yeah.
scoping them out.
Yeah,
That's
Mirt
not bad.
had told you that Three Strings had wanted to kind of bring them into the fold and invite them into the Harpers, but Mirt wanted you all to provide like a secondary opinion and see if they were trustworthy.
Well, alright, here goes nothing, I suppose.
Durizen will down the rest of his drink.
Should we, if he's a little, well, I don't blame him, but if he's a little socially awkward, or nervous, should we all go up there?
Should we buy him around first?
It's worth a shot.
I'm gonna peek over and see
I
if
was
they're
gonna say,
drinking anything.
Are there drinks on their table?
Yeah, there are already like 3 or 4 empty flagons on the table, and the gnomish individual on the far end of the table has another up to his mouth as he's playing the lute on his lap.
Oh, I've got to
Oh
learn
my.
that trick.
Alright, Nadar, you come with me. You'll get them a round, and I'll get us another round.
Alright.
Be sure to ask them if they know anyone who's, stowed away on a pirate ship, like a goblin. I asked very angrily.
I'll especially make sure I ask about the monkeys.
Alright, like another round
I
for us.
refrain from yelling at everyone,
She
just
winks at you
sulk
and smiles.
and I sulk into my empty beer mug.
Another round for
Oh,
three
don't you
string
worry.
across the way.
There'll be some more bats. More on the way.
Durizen, as you go up to Durin and kind of order this, he looks at you. Alright, that'll be 2 coppers apiece. For 4.
2 times
2 times.
7?
Oh, you want a whole round for all 4 of you and then 1?
Yeah.
My apologies.
I want, yeah, a round for our table and a round for their table.
I see. So yeah, 14 silver.
All right.
I can pay half.
Well, here, you give him the silver. Here, and Durin will give him a gold. I give him a dragon.
A Durizen.
Alright, and he kind of moves to the tap at the back and begins filling up flagons and hands them back to you. And between you and Nandari, it's a little bit difficult to grab them all, but you do the best you can.
Well, I suppose I should go make new friends with these.
Good luck. I'm gonna go enjoy this. If it gets too wild, holler.
Oh, don't worry. Yeah, so
Ooh,
I
fancy
will
tricks.
walk up here and just, with all of these ales in my hands, just be like, hello. I don't suppose any of you are, I don't know, wanting to make a new friend?
As you kind of
And-
walk up... Oh, yeah.
Oh, as she can't take out her instrument considering her hands are full of alcohol, she'll just kind of lean over and show it so that she at least can have them acknowledge some association as to why she might be coming over.
Yeah, as you come over, you're first greeted by the woman next to you, whose very bright red hair is almost stunning. It almost looks slightly unnatural, but she kind of looks at you with this just glow and beauty about her, and she goes to kind of start to speak and immediately is cut off from the other side of the table as a flagon slams down and kind of the music kind of skips for a moment. Now what's the way that you go and make good friends? She certainly knows what's up. And kind of a cough from the gnome on the other side, as you see this figure with this also bright red but much more of a natural color, and he seems to kind of look towards you and try and catch your reaches out for one of the flagons. There we go. You can see this gnome with this long hair that kind of tucks down over these reddish mutton chops and the lute that lays now unplayed on his lap. What's your name, miss?
Sorry, and she'll slide one over to him.
Oh, the name's Osborne, Miss Witcher. Thank you kindly. You're always welcome at our table if you bring drinks. This is my boy Three Strings and the most beautiful face in town, Sindria Melshimber. Are you interested in playing a tune with us?
Well, I'm not sure if what you guys are expecting, but I'm always happy to give it a try.
Sindria, the woman, finally looks over at you as she's given some space. You'll have to excuse Osborne. He usually is 4 drinks ahead of where he is now, so he's on good pace for a new record.
Does it help with the playing or tend to hinder?
For him, it doesn't much matter. And Osborne kind of kicks her chair. I'd say you best watch your words there. But she might be right. And he kind of shrugs, and the other man across is just kind of quietly still plucking a very thin lute that you can see does have only 3 strings. He just kind of gives you a slight smile and nod.
Well, it seems that you have your hands full here, miss.
Oh, I do. I do indeed. These two keep me quite busy, but you won't find a more admirable group of musicians throughout the town. And I do need a good accompaniment every once in a while.
So what is it that all of you specialize in, then?
Well, Three Strings and Osborne both play the lute, and I graduated from the college in vocal performance.
Well, I'd love to hear that.
Do you...
And I have to say, your hair is just gorgeous. How did you get it that long and beautiful?
A trick of the family, I'm afraid. But I do love yours as well. It's, well, I haven't met many drow that keep their hair as short as yours. It looks lovely.
Why, thank you. I find that it's a bit more fun this way, I suppose.
Indeed. And your cloak is also beautiful.
Thank you very much. It does tend to have its uses.
Where did you find a piece of cloth as elegant and beautiful as that?
It was gifted to me by my family.
That's...
Well, and I suppose now it's a home to someone else, and she sets her sleeve on the table and Cosmo crawls out. Don't worry. This is my friend.
That's a dumb hamster that just walked out of that.
Do you want to see him do it again?
Very much so, yes please.
She giggles and this time more dramatically swoops him up in the sleeve and then just kind of like wiggles her arms behind her back and then goes wah and just flings him out on the table and he strikes a pose.
Yeah, and this time Oswald gives a big hearty laugh and you get another wide smile from Three Strings and Syndria looks over towards you. Now that is a very nice trick. Have you spent much time on the road traveling? I feel like I would have heard of you before.
Well, not everyone is quite as open to allowing me to perform in their taverns, given, well, who I am, what I look like, but I've more recently been traveling around and learning as many stories and things that I can.
Interesting. Well, are you familiar with a tavern piece? It's fairly popular around these spots, known as a good riddance. Perhaps you could join it.
Babe. I hope she knows it.
Yes, Nadari, in your short time since you've been through a few different taverns, you've definitely heard it played a few times. It's not necessarily memorized by any means, but you're sure if you play with the other two, you could get the hang of it.
Well, of course, but am I allowed to use all of my strings? And she looks over at Three Strings and winks at him.
Well, anyone can play on a lute with all their strings, so you should try playing it with just 3 strings sometimes. It changes how you view the music.
Does it really? Well, I'll have to watch you play then.
Well,
I'd love to join if you guys don't mind.
of course, we can get started and you can join in, all right?
All right.
He kind of gives a smile as he begins to play, and you hear this the voice from Syndria that comes out, and the entire tavern around kind of quiets as they all look towards her, and you can see that this entire place holds her in pretty high esteem as her voice begins to float in a beautiful melody across the tavern. And Ezra, as you unfortunately get beaten again, even though this time you put up a little bit more of a fight, as your hand kind of slams against the table and you kind of rub your knuckles, you look over and hear the beautiful music that is just coming out of the 4 of them.
Yeah, this is very different, I guess, from what usually Indari plays in front of you guys also.
Oh yeah, I am, but I'm sure we're all turned and definitely watching now. Ezra's like, oh, like almost a little slack-jawed.
Ooh.
Yeah, at first when the music starts playing, Indari starts joining in along, but as soon as the singing starts, she keeps playing, but her eyes kind of widen and she blinks a couple of times looking at this beautiful singer.
Yeah. And she's beautiful even as she just sits there, but when she begins to sing, there is just this attraction, this just intoxication that seems to captivate anyone who can hear or see her, and most of you have never seen or heard anything quite this beautiful. As you continue to watch, the performance goes on, and the voice carrying over as the tavern quiets further. All the attention seems to be on the four of them, and really all on Syndra here. But eventually things slowly begin to kind of come back as some on the edges begin to fade back into the tavern. You see a few people beginning to resume their meals, but all eyes still kind of pointed in their direction. Ezra, Durizen, and Pats, are the three of you doing anything at this time, or are you still just watching for the duration?
Enthralled with the singing.
Yeah. Yep, just watching.
Yep, just listen.
Alright.
After beating Ezra in arm wrestling.
So yeah, as you all just watch entranced, it's actually, I wouldn't, no, I guess with that, you wouldn't. So yeah, you all just kind of watched as this performance went on and the voice kind of carried, and as it comes to its conclusion, you're all feeling that same enchanted feeling. You watch as it concludes and her voice kind of trails off, winging a long note. Just this roar of applause begins to echo across as everyone just gives their unanimous support and appeal of the song. But she does kind of sit down despite the calls for encore, and kind of looks back towards Nadari as the other two kind of begin to continue to play sort of this backing tune. You did quite well. How long have you been above on the surface?
I don't remember the answer to this question.
Austin, do I have any idea? I don't think
You would know that it's been kind of about a couple months for you.
Okay. A few months.
Well, you have already gotten quite the exposure then to be able to pick up something like that. And I did notice what you were doing there with a few of the melodies. It was beautiful. You're welcome to come and play with us anytime.
Oh, well, it was nothing compared to what you were doing up there, but I really appreciated being a part of that. I can't say I've sung much and played much with others.
Well, you should really try it. The best stories, the best experiences come whenever you can experience them with others. And what better way to tell your story than through song?
I like that. So long as others want me around, of course.
As someone of your skill and beauty, you're always welcome here. Aye, especially if you keep bringing drinks.
Well, at some point, if this friendship continues, you'll have to buy me one.
You see the wide smile on Osmond's face just kind of flatten out. I suppose that's only fair. She does have a point. Three Strings kind of looks up at you. You know, that was pretty good. I liked the few little licks you did in between. I hadn't heard anyone do that before. Did you notice my counter melodies that I was doing with the? See, whenever you only have the F and the A and the C, it's a little bit difficult. But you can do the chords if you've got long fingers. And he kind of shows it and kind of lifts up the lute to show you. It kind of fits like this, and you can make it have a similar sound. It kind of adds a harmonic sound to it, sort of. Sorry.
No, hold on, show me that again. And she tries to put her very small hands to see if she can reach.
You kind of extend out, and you have to kind of like lift up with your thumb to make it all the way across to do it, and it's completely unnecessary as you have the strings to do it in a much smaller orientation, but you can kind of stretch and do it. It's impressive that he's able to play like this and make it not sound very simplistic.
She's stretching her finger out.
You know, it's very impressive that you can do this.
It's one of the few songs I can do well. Sindra made sure that I practiced real hard before she let me do it with her. Most of the others I'm still kind of getting the hang of, you know.
Well, maybe I'll have to play once and give Cosmo a chord. How about that? And he runs along the top of the lute in his hamstery fashion.
I don't think I've ever met a hamster who could play before. That might be a first.
Well, we might have to do some teaching. She looks at him rather discipliningly.
I'm sure if he's anything like you, he'll be a master in no time. Sindri sort of places a hand on your shoulder. Now, were you only here for the company?
Oh, well, my friends are over there. I wanted to get to know more people like me, I suppose.
And what makes you think that we are like you?
Well, you
Musicians
play.
comes in all shapes and sorts. Are you just
Of course,
looking
but
for other performers?
Well, I'm one who really likes to make friends, and when you see an obvious table of performers, it's a talking top, I suppose. At least there is something in common when it's obvious that a table is of musicians and people who respect that kind of work.
I suppose that makes sense.
I just like stories, and you obviously, she looks behind her. My group of people stands out quite a lot, but you guys looked quite interesting yourselves.
Yes, they do seem like quite the crowd. She kind of gives a
What?
wave as the three of you begin approaching.
Pats on top of Durizen.
Well,
Well, that was some mighty fine singing. Compliments to you.
thank you. I appreciate.
Nadar. I didn't know you could play anything like that.
Yes. I suppose it's not my typical solo style, but I rather enjoyed it.
Well, it was beautiful. It was definitely different, but I know we all enjoyed it back there. I don't even think any of us said a single word.
Definitely better than all the other bards that were playing whenever we were working here.
Three Strings kind of looks down at the floor, not making eye contact, and Cindria continues to smile as you all. Well, I'm always glad to hear when I have a fan of my work, but really it's the musicians that help me to sound so magical. She kind of gives a smile back at Nadari and the other two. No, how are my manners? My name is Cindria Melshimba. And what were your names? I've already met Nadari.
I go by Durizen around here usually.
Durizen, and you are a Dragonborn, no?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I must admit I have had not had the pleasure of meeting one of your kind before, but you are quite impressive, if a bit imposing. Glad to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure's all mine.
I must say that the stories are, well, they seem to paint you as a bit more intimidating than you appear to be. You are kind, and she looks up at Pat's humorous individual.
Well,
Oh yeah, he's a big old teddy bear.
I wouldn't say
I'll tell you
that.
what.
Let
Are you
me
sure
try.
about that? Have you ever seen a teddy bear? You're basically a giant scaly teddy bear.
I mean, I've seen bears.
Well, you've never seen a teddy bear? Ooh, I'm sure they sell them somewhere in the city.
Did your daughter not have one growing up?
A teddy bear.
What kind of father are you?
Um,
Even I know what a teddy bear is.
She had plenty. What the fuck? Never mind. Anyway.
Yeah, Cindria kind of stifles a laughter before looking up at Pat's. And, you, the one on Mr. Durzin's shoulders, what is your name?
Oh yeah, I'm Pats.
Pats?
The goblin. The goblin.
A
Did you
goblin?
forget it?
I'm sure that I will not. It is lovely to meet you, and you, madame. She extends a hand over towards Ezra.
Yes, I'm Ezra. Lovely to meet you, and she'll shake her hand.
Lovely to meet you as well. You are, you have a rugged beauty about you. Where are you from?
I come from the, oh god. Oh god. Help. Up from the mountains, up north, I want to say.
Sorry, what was the question?
Where am I from?
I can't help you on that one.
I don't know. Oh crap. Oh,
Funny if you gazed her into her eyes and forgot.
I don't know. No, the monastery of Two Towers. It's I decided it was time to venture out and see the world, and decided that this city was quite big and wondrous, and thought I could learn a thing or two here.
Ah, I see. Wonderful. I've heard of that monastery. Up in the wilds, just south of Lakeside, I believe. I haven't made my way up that direction, but I hear that they have quite the duality of techniques. Perhaps I should make my next trip in that direction. I don't know.
Yes, it's lovely up there. Beautiful, beautiful nature, and very peaceful.
Well, lovely to make your acquaintance. These are my acquaintances. This is Osblin, and the gnome kind of gives a gruff raise of his tankard, and this is Matrim, though most of us here call him Three Strings. And he kind of points at his lute very excitedly. My lute only has 3 strings. It makes sense, I think.
Well, you played really well along with them.
Yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
Yeah.
He's been working very hard to improve. Matrim is not what you would call a prodigy, but he's a hard worker. He'll get there. She kind of gives a reassuring smile back towards him.
That's a better trait than just falling into it anyway. If you
That's
can
what
work hard at it and learn it, you can work hard at anything.
That's what I always tell him myself. So how did you all come to know each other? You seem a bit unorthodox of a group.
We actually ran into each other here. It was only a couple of weeks ago that we really, or probably a few weeks ago now, but we all ended up employed in some way or another at the Yawning Portal. And
Trying to get our feet under us first time in the city. But we all came here from different areas. Besides you and Nadari.
And Three Strings kind of looks up at you. Yeah, I think I remembered some of you being here. I usually play in the tavern in the afternoons. I tend to blend in, so I'm sure you haven't noticed me before. But a Dragonborn kind of sticks out, so I definitely have seen you before. Whenever you were working the doors, and I think I saw Miss Nadari perform a couple times too. But yeah.
Well, hopefully it was some of my better ones.
Oh, it was beautiful. No, you did great. It was very marvelous. I just I was more watching. I was. You did great.
Eloquently put.
I think everybody performed wonderfully.
Do any of you all play instruments?
Can't say I've ever been good with any of them.
Well, I could maybe hit a table to the beat of a song. She gives a little giggle.
She's really good at that. She does that at my performances.
I used to blow the trumpet to wake up troops. Is that the same thing?
I consider myself an amateur spoons player.
You know, from the sounds of it, they've got the makings of a band. Nadar, you should really get to work on that.
I didn't think anybody had an interest, I suppose.
I mean, I never said I make music with the spoons. But okay.
No, I mostly just woke people up. That was when I was younger, too. Haven't done that in years.
But Ezra's had my back.
That's right, and she'll put a little arm around her, give her a little hug, a little side hug.
Well, it's always good to have someone watching your back. You never know when you might need it.
In my case, it used to be every tavern ever, till she came along.
Yes, I imagine it is quite difficult being a drow. I'm sure that comes with many challenges. And I thought it was hard just being a female musician.
Tell me, have you heard of the Drunken Stag?
Yes, I am quite familiar with it. I have made a few trips up to visit that particular tavern. And does Old Man Gus still run it?
He does. In fact, he was the first one that allowed me to perform once I got on this side.
Well, he does have an eye for talent.
Could definitely say that.
How well did you know Old Man Gus?
Where did I know him?
How well did you know him?
Guess we weren't super close, but... he did set me aside and talk to me quite often.
And Nadar, go ahead and make me an insight check.
Oh, come on. Do I want to use my inspiration on that? I don't know if that's... I really want to know. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna see if I can roll a little better.
You answered your own question.
God damn it!
Perfect!
Oh.
Yeah, Nadar, there's just kind of this oddness about the question, but you can't quite place your finger on it. And as you answer, she kind of looks... Well, if you ever get the chance to go up and visit him again, please tell him that Sindria says hello. He is one of the kindest people that I've ever met.
I got that impression as well. And, she does still have her stag pin clipped to her outfit, and so she'll kind of look down at it and rub the top of it as she answers.
Alright, and as you all sit there kind of swapping stories and getting to know these three, is there anything in particular that you all wanted to talk about? Or are you just enjoying the afternoon with them?
Well, Thurston's just asking about, I guess, some more of their past, because we all gave them a little bit, and they know a little bit about Nadari. So how did you guys come to find your way into this city?
I was born and bred in the city of splendors. This was Three Strings. We grew up on these streets, making a few coins here and there. We learned the best spots to play. best spots to get a free drink. And he kind of holds up the flagon again, still kind of playing with the one hand. There's a few tips and tricks along the way. Ran into Sentry a few years ago. Yes, I also am from the city, though I've done a bit more traveling around. My family, it's, well, we are well known around the city. We actually own a villa within the Sea Ward. It's, well, there's a bit of storied past with my family, so to say, and I've decided when I was young that I wanted to have a different life for myself, and so I traveled to the college, or enrolled in the college rather, and took up the role of a minstrel, though I was never very gifted in instruments like my companions or like Miss Nadari. I did find a talent with my voice, and found my family away from my family at the college.
I don't suppose sometime you might like to try again.
Perhaps I will. It is, I don't know. It's not something that I feel drawn to at the moment, but I wouldn't be opposed. Should I have lessons from a talented teacher? She kind of flashes you a smile. Three Strings kind of pipes up. Like Osmond said, we were kind of raised on the streets here. I spent some time in the city. I didn't really know my parents too well, and well, I wandered the streets for a little bit, but I found that when I could play, some people gave me money, and so that seemed as good a reason to keep playing as any, even though I wasn't the best. And you could hear as you've started to listen to the two play, and as they've gone on, Three Strings does not sound the greatest. He certainly struggles to keep up with Osblin, who even only playing with one hand, and there's a wrong note every so often. He's definitely put practice into it and keeps up, but the longer you've been here, the more you're starting to notice that it's still a work in progress.
Well, I always
Bit of
find it
hard.
best to practice every day.
A bit of hard work and dedication will beat talent any day.
Yeah, no matter what you're working at.
So Sindri keeps telling me. I'm doing my best to keep up with it. Up until I met Sindri and Osmond and a few of the others, I really didn't have any good teachers, so it took some time, you know?
Yeah, learning on your own's the hardest. Well, being as you've all been in the city all this time, residents, you must know all sorts of the gossip.
We did get a few things here and there.
Ooh, have you heard anything about Troll Skull Alley? What does the rest of the city think what's going on there?
Troll Skull Alley.
It's Troll Skull Manor, I should say.
Yeah, the local haunted house.
Oh, is it haunted? To be honest, I haven't heard anything about the manor. I do think the alley is where that detective Trench, I believe. I think he stays up there.
Yeah, he's right down the way.
Oh, do you all live on the alley?
Just recently got property. Very haunted. Though he seems to be kind enough. Him and Darty get along pretty well.
You live in a haunted house?
Hey, it was a good deal.
Definitely provides a lot of stories.
And now the windows are boarded up, the raccoons stay out.
Certainly working on it.
Well, that is very interesting, I must say.
Well, yeah, eventually we hope to get it some sort of fixed up. When we do, we might have to have you by.
Oh, we would love to. Should there be another tavern in town, we would be happy to play. Especially with friends like you all there.
Well, once it opens up, I'm sure that'll be where I'll be most of the time.
Well, good company can be so hard to find. I'm sure we will make a few trips up there to visit and to play more. I would love to hear what else you have in your repertoire.
I definitely have quite the mixture of things.
I'm sure
But-
you do. I would love to hear at some point a song from your homeland as you will learn some of ours.
I suppose that's only fair. I did leave when, well, I started running out of stories to find. So I've got quite a few.
You'll never find a place with more stories to tell than the City of Splendors, that's for certain.
But I've definitely come to the right place.
Well, really, I think we've had plenty of niceties, and you all seem very well, good people. But I've actually got a couple other questions.
Oh,
More for people who know things in the city, if you know what I mean. Some information that maybe not everybody will hear, or just rumors.
we have been known to be discreet at times.
Well, my first question, and this really is more personal, is I need to know who in this city do you think would have something against Force Grey recently, or any of their workings?
Force Grey. Well, that's a difficult one. It's, Force Grey works for the city, so not many people, most people bear them in high regard, rather than having them be a target. But I'm sure anyone that Force Grey might be after may have some reason to hold them in disdain. I know that lately they've been cracking down on the criminal syndicates that have been spilling out into the streets. There's a interim, and as well as the new one in town, Dask, I believe it is. In addition to that, there's some of the established crime lords, the ones who used to run the Zehinterim from the shadows. The organization is a bit fractured as of now, to different aspects. It could be any one of the past leaders or present, I suppose. Though from what I've heard, some of them are trying to become more of a legitimate business group rather than the shadowy organization they were once known as. Force Grey also has helped shift the power structure. I imagine that, I imagine those in power wouldn't be too happy about that. Most notably, Lord Daggelt Neverember, the last open lord of the city. When he was deposed, Force Grey backed Laurel in her taking over his position.
So it wasn't so much of a peaceful transition?
Not exactly. Lord Daggelt had issues and things that he was handling elsewhere, and when he tried to return back to the city, he found that he was no longer open lord, and his commands were no longer heeded. Less of a military coup and more a political one.
But enough to creates some bad feelings between them.
Oh, most certainly. If you'd like to know more, I believe that his son actually still lives in the town, Renaer. I think he has an estate up in the Sea Ward, next to the large garden area, or the park, the hero's garden.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might have to go and talk to Renaer some more.
Some more? Have you met the man before?
I've been trying to figure things out since I got here.
I see. Are you associated with Force Grey?
Currently. More. They have info on someone that I need to find, so I'm going to help out as much as I can.
Who, may I ask, are you looking for?
I'm looking for my daughter.
Oh. And, excuse me if I am frank, but she is a dragonborn like you, yes?
Vibrant red like her mother.
Well, then I'm sure she certainly stood out in a place like this. I'm sure someone has heard something of her. And she kind of looks over at Osblin and Three Strings. And they kind of both sort of shake their head or shrug. Unfortunately, out of luck here.
Yeah, I've been swinging and missing a lot lately on this. But what little I've been able to figure out, I think he got into trouble working for Forest Grey. Still in that trouble.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think that Asper, she used to hang out with a red dragon fella. Mirt was telling me the story the other night. Well, this was they sort of blend together. I think you may want to talk to Mirt's wife, Asper. I think I remember him saying that she used to hang out with a red draconic individual. I only now realize that he was talking potentially about your daughter and not about a kobold. Probably should have clarified on that.
Yeah, very different.
We don't get many of your type around here. It's honest mistake, I'm sure.
Alright. Well, I'm certainly going to have to do that. Though hopefully she's got something. Thank you. If you guys ever decide to come on down to Troll Skull Alley, we'll treat you nice with what we got.
You got ale?
Yeah, we got whiskey too.
Oh, there.
Just don't mind the ghost, he's friendly mostly.
Mostly?
Don't diss the tavern.
He protects it.
That's kind of cool. How did you... Is he scary ghost?
No. In fact, he actually
I don't know.
communicates.
When we first got there, he was throwing shit. Well, that
He's
seems
trying to
calm
get
down.
our attention.
I'm probably trying to, make sure we were all right, and we'll at least take care of the tavern. It has
Yeah.
been through a lot of hands.
He's trying to get our attention.
That's what were the words? Were they get out? I think they were get out.
Yeah, that sounds right. Funny
that's a
guy
funny
he
one.
is.
Yeah, he seems to. He's definitely mellowed out the past few days, though.
Not everybody who enters the place is necessarily kind.
Don't remind me.
But no,
Oh,
he
yeah.
communicates through my instrument, actually.
Really? How does he do that?
Well, I gave him a string for yes and a string for no when we ask him questions.
You give him a string for maybe, and then he's 3 strings like me.
That would be right. And... well, we figured out his name, too. I don't know how much you've heard of the old manor, but... one of the past keepers, it's him.
does seem to be an interesting story. Perhaps we should make a trip up there to see this ghostly bar ghost. When did you all say you were opening up the tavern?
Eventually.
Yeah, nothing's official now. It's
It needs quite a lot of work.
it needs some furnishing too. It's seen better days.
Well,
Could be why the ghost was trying to kick us out. I'm sure it's been abandoned and not treated very well, but it definitely needs
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, getting it fixed is in the works, but you know how these things are.
Well, perhaps this may help. This is your cut, after all. And she kind of lifts up a large hat off the floor and kind of sets it on the table and begins to kind of scoop out a handful of coins and places them down in front of Nadari. And you see a large handful of gold, silver, and copper coins.
This is my cut.
Well, you did help play.
How much do you guys make in a night?
Oh, well, when Miss Cindria sings, we make about 10 times as much as when me and Osmond just play. But we do all right.
But I mean, I was a guest, and I don't know if I could possibly take.
Please, take it. If the tavern does well, you'll be it's a down payment or an investment.
Well, I suppose when we open, we owe you guys all a free drink.
Now you're talking my language.
So, you guys grew up in the city, right? You guys have any experience with the ye old monster shop?
I've been there a couple times. Yes, it's quite extravagant what they are able to have here. I certainly haven't seen any other cities that keep those sorts of creatures within the city walls.
You familiar with their, with the owner and perhaps one of the clerks? Little slimy gnome, Pinewood Intelwick. Name ring a bell?
I don't know that name specifically. I know the owner, though, Mr. Sintram.
He's
like
got
a-
this mustache. You look at him, you just know. He's
Yeah, slimy little gnome.
I think I know who you're talking about. I'm sure I've seen him around before. Yeah, I've seen him before. He's one of the ones behind the desks, right?
Yeah, the clerks. Just, you have any idea what the general consensus is about him in the city? Do people, like this guy?
To be honest, I didn't even know his name, and she kind of looks across at Three Strings. I don't really know. I haven't heard of anyone who doesn't like him. He seems to mostly keep to himself. He's kind of a bit grouchy at times when I've talked to him before, but you know, it's okay.
Well, I tried.
Did he do something to you?
Yeah, you stole my eggs, damn it!
Well, right now he may or may not have stolen from us. So,
Mhm.
judging from just looks alone, and from him being a slime, I think we got the guy. But we're gonna let the law take this.
Well,
For now.
You might not want to necessarily judge a book by its cover in most cases, but that man does look like a Batman.
See? Told you. Well, it was worth a shot seeing if maybe, it was just common knowledge that he's just a raging asshole or something, but... Oh well. Thank you for the information.
Sure thing. Mr. Pats, right?
Yeah, that's what it goes by.
Perhaps Osborne can capture you in a song. I haven't heard of a white-haired goblin before. I'm sure many would be interested in hearing the tale.
Been working on a couple of pieces.
Oh,
He's
dear.
definitely quite the fun one to travel with.
Are any of your pieces ready for performance? I would love to hear one.
I'd like a little more time, I think.
Well, when you're ready,
And-
you'll have to come back and share.
Of course.
Yeah, Nadar, you should give him that dad one. That one was mighty fine.
Oh, that one was more in the moment, and hopefully it was a little bit inspiring.
Definitely.
I like to be inspired by those around me, I suppose. For instance, Pat's, he's actually quite the good cook. Although his ingredients are not the most, typical.
They're pretty unique.
You could say, yeah, you could say that. I'm a very worldly chef. Gotta get ingredients from all over the place.
What's your favorite dish to cook?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. You know, since I've been in the city, I think my favorite thing that I made was a special scrambled egg. Got it from Old Xoblob Shop. But
Yeah,
we're talking about in general forever. I would say probably the roasted slugs. These weren't just any ordinary slugs. These were slugs that you can only find on the island that I'm from. They were very nice red, very juicy whenever you bit into them. But slugs outside of the island they just aren't the same, man. I really wish I could share some of those slugs with you guys. It would blow your mind.
It
Now-
actually made this quite good noodle soup dish. What was
Oh,
that
yeah,
called
yeah.
again?
Yeah, the ramen. Yeah, that was pretty good. I think the pixie was an excellent, kind of like earthiness, surprisingly. It really worked. I think there are a couple spices that exist out there that could have been added to make it amazing, but I'm overall happy with that first attempt. But it could have been better. Just gonna say that now.
Well, you certainly have a wide array of culinary talents. You'll have to make us something when we come to visit the tavern.
Damn straight I will.
Oh, good. More taste testers that aren't me.
Oh, come on, Durin. It hasn't been that bad. Just, like, give him a little elbow.
Yeah, it hasn't been awful, but there's been a few times.
Where's your sense of adventure? There's always a bit of bad that comes with the good.
Yeah, but when it's suddenly in my mouth, I don't really appreciate it.
I suppose
That's where we
understandable.
disagree. You know, the only reason I keep you around is because I could just ride you. You know, it's really gives me a breaking my legs. Really nice.
Oh, good. to
Dorin
know.
just snorts behind her hand.
Good thing I can be so useful to you.
Thank you, Durizen.
I'm gonna walk through some low door frames from now on.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Okay, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. There, see? I am getting better at apologizing when it is, necessary.
I accept your apology. Still finding the low door hang next time you hang on me.
Perfect. Doesn't apply to this time, though.
You all are quite interesting individuals. It's been good to get to know you. I do have to start making my way back home to check on a few things this afternoon, but if you'd like, you're welcome to stay and sit with Osborne and Three Strings. I look forward to visiting your tavern once it's up and running. she kind of gives a pat on Nadari's back and a wave to you all as she goes and exits the tavern.
Dari does an awkward wave back.
Hey.
Well,
So, do you two usually hang out here a little later, or stay here, or
I usually play in the tavern whenever there's nobody else here. It's kind of my home base, you might say.
Yeah. Oh well, we're definitely no stranger to that. The Yawning Portal was definitely our home base for a little while, but if this is your home base, do you know somebody here by the name of Bonnie?
Oh, yeah. Bonnie's one of the waitresses. She's real nice.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't remember hearing her name around. And we just heard from a friend and in passing that she works here, and I'd really like to meet her.
She's usually up on the second floor. I can probably go give you an introduction if you'd like.
Sure. Why not?
All right. Does anybody else want to come? Osmond, Durizen, Nadari? Osmond kind of looks over.
I'll brew down here. I've got another half a drink to finish.
I understand.
Here, Osmond, I'll buy another round. We can sit here and drink and talk.
You are my new best friend.
All right. So, as Three Strings kind of begins to head towards the staircase, and Nadari and Ezra, Pats, are you staying with Durizen and Osmond, or are you headed with the girls and Three Strings?
I'm gonna stay with Durizen.
All right. So you kind of continue to hang on to Durizen. Three Strings leads the two ladies up the stairs, and as you get up there, he kind of waves down one of the waitresses nearby, kind of, Bonnie, hi, hey, this is Ezra and Nadari. They were, they're new friends of mine. They said they wanted to meet you. Oh well, hi. It's good to meet you both. How are you two doing? Like you said, my name's Bonnie. Good to meet you, I suppose.
Yes, lovely to meet you. We actually used to, we used to stay and work at the Yawning Portal, and there's so many people in here all the time. I just can't remember if I remember seeing your face around. I heard from a friend that you work here, and I wanted to, come by and meet you. Say hello.
Yeah, many people pass through the Yawning Portal on their way to greatness. All of them try the ale, though. It's good to meet you. I've been here for just a little while, in and out. Durin first was just part-time, working a day or so here and there, but well, he's let me on a little bit more full-time now that I've gotten my feet underneath me. Me and a few friends just moved to town.
You said a path to greatness. Do you have a plan or a path, I suppose?
Oh, I don't know just yet. We're still getting our feet under us, and we've kind of been around a few different places, but we like it here, so we'd like to stay. We just gotta find the place that we fit, if you get my drift.
Oh, totally understand. Our our little group we've made, we've come from all over the place, and are kind of using the city to figure out what we're all about too. So definitely in the same boat. I get where you're coming from. But have you seen? I mean, have you been running into any trouble, or have people been treating you well here? The Yawning Portal is a nice place.
It really is, you know. Three Strings has been very, very kind to me. He was one of the first friends I made here, and Durin and Renaer are always so sweet, and Tamsel is also really nice, and you know, I'm fitting in the best I can, and my friends, and she kind of points over towards a table where a few other humans are kind of gathered around, eating and drinking and conversing. We do our best, but most of them are still trying to find jobs within the city, and it's tough sometimes.
Well, that's definitely understandable. But well, from what I'm learning at least, there are plenty of opportunities. I know we've kind of partnered up with a couple of organizations around town, and have you know, we've started to make our way. We're even property owners, wouldn't you know it? But you know, if you I mean, if you ever need you know, any help, you can give a shout out to the cosmonauts. That's well what we're calling ourselves.
Oh, well, ain't that sweet? That's a nice name. You said you're property owners? Where are you all living?
Well, if you work here, I'm sure you've probably met Volo. He likes to make his presence known. Do you know him?
Ah, yes, Mr. Getarm. I've run
Yes.
into him a couple times. He's a regular here.
Yeah, so our little group did a little favor for him, and well, wouldn't you know it, he was a little short on cash, so he gave us a deed to a manor up on the north side of town, called Troll Skull Manor. I don't know if you've heard of it, or
Ain't that something? No, I haven't heard of that manor, but you all live on the north side of town? That's something.
we have at least been seeming to make our way fairly well. Things have kind of fallen into place, you know, here and there, but I guess that's just how life goes, taking things, you know, one day at a time.
That's the best we can really do, ain't it? I'm trying to do the same, but you know, some days it's easier than others.
Yes, it's really... When you come to a new place, sometimes it's really hard to really feel like yourself.
Ain't that the truth? It takes some time to find oneself, especially when you move to a new big city and you're getting to know all the people. But you know, we're doing our best, and I'm hoping that with a little bit of luck, we might be able to find our own place not too long. Maybe a house on the north side too. Who knows? Maybe we'll be neighbors.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
Just surround yourself by interesting people. If everyone is just like you, it's very boring.
Ain't that the truth? No, I find that there's many a character in this city, and well, I'm interested in meeting them all and getting to know everybody, and just carving out my little Bonnie spot.
Well, speaking of characters, if you're into some interesting people, I would definitely recommend checking out the Faire in town if you haven't already. That is an interesting place.
I've heard a few people talking about it. It's supposed to be quite extravagant and entertaining. I heard they had all sorts of different events and people, and it was all sorts of colors down by the docks. And I've been wanting to make my way down there, but I just haven't been able to find the time just yet.
Well, when you get the time, I would highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'll have to do that. I know Gabby's been trying to find a good way for us to spend our evenings, and perhaps we'll have to just bite the bullet and go out one of these nights.
Well, it was definitely be worth it. Plenty of different, different people to see, and I mean, certainly plenty of things I haven't seen before.
Well, I always find that I tend to fit in with people who are different. They have a certain way about them that just, I think I get along well with.
Well, it almost sounds like you would fit in as a member of the cosmonauts. We're definitely a unique group, to say the least.
Perhaps. Are you hiring? She kind of jokes and gives you an elbow.
Well, our manor is only so big, but who knows? We might turn ourselves into a little guild like the many and many there are in town. Goodness.
Yeah, there's quite a few. They seem to got a guild for just about everything, don't they?
Oh yes, absolutely. Speaking of which, reminds me, we our manor, even though we are property owners, we it's a little rough, and we need to put a down payment on it and get to fixing it up. Hopefully make our presence permanent in the town. Who knows?
Yeah, I know the guild's probably charge an arm and a leg to get everything fixed up and up to code and all the fees and everything. They seem to charge for just about everything.
Speaking of, we should probably talk to them.
Yeah, I remember Dorin went out a long while ago and talked to them. And after a few jobs under our belts, we'll have to reassess and get our bearings again and see where we're at.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck with that. I should probably be getting back to getting around though. Wouldn't want Durin to get.
Oh, sorry. I don't wanna keep you.
It was lovely meeting y'all.
Lovely meeting you, Miss Bonnie. We'd love to see you around, or come visit Troll Skull if you ever have the chance. Well, maybe once it's a little better fixed up. It's a little rusty now.
Just keep your eye out for flyers.
I'll do that. Good to meet you. You all have a good day now. She kind of begins to move back around and check on the other tables and get drinks and such. Three Strings kind of looks back at you. Oh, well, you guys got along just like peas in a pod. Peas in a pod. Yeah, that one.
Yes, like we do with you and your group now. And she kind of like puts an arm around him and her arm around Ezra and starts walking back.
He's kind of surprised and kind of straightens up a little bit, but he kind of smiles. You can tell he feels a little bit uncomfortable, but you kind of continue on as you take them all and walk back down the stairs to rejoin.
Well, you find out anything interesting?
Well, we met somebody new.
That's interesting enough.
Yeah, Bonnie was a very lovely person. She and her friend group are new to the city and seem to be trying to, get their feet underneath each other, kind of just like we were.
Hey, Austin, how much... I'm sorry, I was distracted while I was in character. Do we know how much, Syndria gave me for the performance?
Yeah, as you guys take time and begin to portion all of these things out. Let me...
I'm fine with putting it in party loot, FYI.
That
Yeah, if you
was
want
the totals that you got for those.
You said you fine with party loot?
Jeez.
That's where I'll just
Yeah.
add it to. Alright.
That would be wonderful, thank you.
That's a good chunk of change.
Definitely never made that much so quickly at a performance.
Oh,
And Nadari, if you want, you can make me another insight check.
Okay.
See if we can get one above 10.
come on.
Drum roll, please.
Hitting the table, like Ezra said.
Oh my god.
In the garbage.
It is definitely
Oh.
far more than you've made in one of your
Aw.
performances.
Well, I just figured it was.
No,
So-
you're good. Yep. No, you figured right.
You think you could-
Now I feel sad.
You'll get one eventually.
Right when they really matter, I'm sure.
No, no, no.
Whenever
you
Only
find-
checks
Yeah,
that-
whenever
you
you
only
identify
roll
a new
high on
owner.
checks that don't matter. That's how D&D works.
No, whenever you identify a new
a
hanky to
hamster.
steal, then
Exactly.
oh, no.
Stealing handkerchiefs.
Nat
Catching
20
a
all
hamster.
day, every day.
Catching
Oh,
a
actually, my
hamster is
crossbows are
important.
pretty good. That is true. No, I figured as a solo drow performer who just got here, I probably don't tend to see a lot of money for my performances. It's more like, well, okay, I guess you can perform here.
You know, it
Uh,
works out.
Yeah. Well, I think we should go talk to Mirt after this, before we carry out any other business.
Yeah, see what the walrus man is up to.
Yeah, hopefully
Well,
we can
then,
track
You
him
seem
down.
like, you seem like
Yeah.
swell fellas.
well, we know where he lives.
Do you all know Mirt too?
We haven't been here very long, but we've certainly gotten around. Though I haven't talked to his wife yet, been trying to do that.
Yeah, Asper. She's a real nice lady. Actually, he usually drops into the tavern in the evenings.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then might as
Oh,
well
what
wait
time?
for him.
Yeah,
I
about what
remember,
time is it getting to be?
We had a tough time looking for him last time we sought him out.
Yeah, it's kind of late into the afternoon at this point, maybe about 3 o'clock.
Mirt's not often at his home. He often wanders around during the day. Him and Asta only spend time at that dirty excuse for a manor in the evenings. I think they only just about sleep there, though they keep half their stuff there.
Whatever works for them, I suppose.
I suppose, but if I had a place that big, I'd spend more time in it. Fill it up with some good drink.
Yeah, you don't get those big places by trying to fill them up with drink, though.
Ain't that the truth?
Or then we'll clack his drink against his.
Good, nice cheers. Alright. So yeah, you guys spend a good portion of the afternoon and into the evening with these two. Are you waiting till Mirt shows up, or is there anything else you wanted to do with your day?
I'm good on waiting for the Lion Man to show up whenever.
Yeah, I mean, Durizen wanted to talk to Vincent, but that could be later in the evening anyway.
Fair. I guess just while we're waiting, I'll ask 3 Strings and Obslin. Well, since you said you were so familiar with the city or, have lived here long enough. Would you know, anybody who might be work real well with magic? Or, maybe believes in curses enough to be able to reverse them?
Yeah, you got a bit of a problem.
Just a little one.
Hey, we don't know that yet.
That's true, but knowing the information would be nice.
Did you try to cheat out a gypsy or something like that? Maybe throw a hex on you?
Well, no, not quite.
Well, this is more of a recent problem, so we haven't tried much to fix it yet.
Nah. Got a bit of a ring that she acquired that.
You know what the sad
hasn't
part
done
is?
anything well.
We paid 50 gold for this nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, to spill the details, it was a ring that I, acquired, and, ever since it came into my possession, kind of, put a bit of a reversal on me, I guess, if you will, so I'm usually pretty comfortable about my, athleticism, or, I can get around pretty easily. I consider myself fairly athletic.
Yeah,
But,
the day before you found that, you put a man through the floor arm wrestling him. Just this morning, you couldn't even
I
beat.
still feel so bad
Dar.
about that. Yeah, how the tables have turned. And she'll kind of elbow and Dari.
I have been grabbing a tree branch every once in a while and, attempting a pull-up.
Oh, really? When I do that, sometimes tree branch just breaks.
Well, yeah, just me being, more comfortable about my athleticism. I'm definitely, it feels weird to say the least, but, yeah, it's not something I'm very happy about, or, I don't know if I'll be able to find a workaround, or I don't know if it or wear off, or just a way to get rid of it potentially. I don't know. It is not fun.
Well, if you're looking for something to remove a curse from you, if that's what you believe you got, there's two main organizations that handle the physical care of the citizens. There's the established Guild of Apothecaries and Physicians. They've got a few different places around town, but they're based out of the House of Healing up in the North Ward. But if you prefer more divine intervention, there's also the Healers Guild, which has the Holy Hands House, also in the North Ward. I tend to like the Holy Men a bit better. They're a little bit less political and judgmental, but the physicians do just as well and can sometimes offer it at a more reasonable rate, trying to undercut the clerics and all.
Okay. Well, thanks for the advice. Maybe I'll have to check that out in the next day or so. If this doesn't get any better, at least.
I would recommend it if you can't. If you went from throwing a poor fellow through the floorboards and now you can't win against anyone, you might want to get that looked into.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely check that out sooner than later, or as soon as possible.
And as you all continue to converse, you do notice as quickly a noise kind of carries across from the tavern, and you can hear the boisterous laughter of the very rotund individual known as Mirt as he is conversing with Durin at the bar. And Three Strings kind of pipes up and, well, right on schedule. There's Mr. Mirt, if you've got business with him still.
The walrus has arrived.
I would be careful. He doesn't like that nickname too much. I wouldn't use it too much in front of him.
Oh, really? Well, I'll make sure not to let it slip too much. Well, let's go!
All
All right, let's go. Go pay him a little visit.
Guys head across the tavern floor towards where Mirt is, and you can see he's in the middle of a hearty conversation with Durin as the two of them are laughing and kind of taking sips out of tankards. And Durin kind of gives a glance as you approach, and Mirt turns around.
Oh, well, isn't it? My lovely new recruits. Were able to accomplish the mission?
Well, for the most part, I'd like to think so.
And what's your
we-
report, young Miss Ezra?
Well, we met with Bonnie and her acquaintances, and you know, they seem to be very similar to our little group. They seemed, you know, quite respectable and nice and new to town, but just trying to get their feet underneath them. And well, I'm not the best conversationalist, but I at least let them know that well, there were, you know, many opportunities within town that they could take, and to let us know if they ever needed any help. But at least from what I could tell, they seemed well, respectable. And I mean, is there like anything additional that I'd be able to like glean or, you know, tell just from that kind of conversation that I held with Bonnie?
You can make an insight check.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Hey!
Oh!
Darn it.
Wow, my first best roll all day.
Hoorah!
Good job.
Aw.
I'm proud of you. You have beat the insight gods.
Yes.
So Ezra, you talked to Bonnie. You didn't really talk to the others, and Bonnie
That's true.
certainly seemed very trustworthy and straightforward. But you definitely were catching kind of suspicious glances from the other members of the table. Some of them certainly looked a bit sketchier, and a few of them were kind of giving you glances and looks of disdain.
Okay. Alrighty then. Well, then I will relay that to Mirt. I guess just in, you know, a simple way that Ezra would, but yeah. So just that, you know, Bonnie seemed nice enough, but whenever she kind of would mention her friends or her group, as a whole, they seemed nice, but every time I'd kind of look over, the occasional one would shoot me a glance that wasn't the nicest. But I don't know. I am pretty big, and I'd like to think I'm not super intimidating, but maybe I was. Who knows? So I would be cautious. I don't know if, you know, they are using Bonnie, or she's kind of the front woman or the most charismatic of the group, but they were they were something. Not I guess I wouldn't give them all clear, at least from what I could tell. But the most conversation I held was with Bonnie herself.
do the rest of you agree with that assessment? Anyone else have any input?
Bonnie herself did seem quite nice, a bit awkward, but she seemed like she meant well.
Well, then I'll take it under advisement and perhaps go talk with these others myself. And thank you all for taking care of this for me. I appreciate having another set of eyes and ears around. In fact, that's most of what we do is get to know people, listen, and try and figure out what's going on in the city from time to time. Communication is important in any relationship. Here, you've earned it.
And he kind of tosses a small pouch towards Ezra.
I'll talk to you all later.
And he kind of waves.
Goodbye, Dorin.
Mirt, before you leave, I got a couple questions.
Can it wait, Thurston? I'd like to
Well,
go talk to them before they leave.
Well, it's really more I need to talk to your wife. It's about my daughter.
My wife? Your daughter? What exactly are you getting at?
Well, everyone I seem to talk to said that your wife and my daughter got along pretty well while she was here. Probably one of the last people to really see her. And I've been trying to piece together what's really happened. But I still need to talk to your wife. Haven't been able to find her.
Is your daughter Vila?
Yes, sir.
Fascinating. How did she become red while you're black?
Your mother was red. Takes more after her, though. She makes poor decisions on behalf of me.
I see. Well, I usually, well, what I know of Vila, she seemed to be a good sort. If you have questions for Asper, then I suppose you could ask them. She should be back at our mansion this evening, perhaps around 8 or 9 o'clock.
Well, thank you. We'll be around that time. We'll try and be discreet and not take up too much of your evening.
Well, we'll try and have some dinner ready for you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to go talk to them while they're still here.
Oh, yep, absolutely, sir.
He goes and heads up the stairs. Yes, Pisa's in platinum.
Oh, jeez. Next
Wow.
tier.
Dang.
Does that mean we have enough? Question mark.
Good job, Walrus, man. You know,
have
maybe,
enough for
maybe we should
ourselves?
work for him more often.
We'll
Holy
spend it
moly.
all on the gotcha.
And
No.
I got so, that's like
Yeah, I don't know the.
fuck
A
ton.
lot.
That is
So,
200 gold
100.
piece equivalent.
Yeah.
Holy
it's
Moses.
10.
not bad, not bad. So, we should probably run by the place, huh? Make it bad down payment.
Well.
If there's still, if the guild is still awake and open and business is booming, I think it be better to
Hey.
start,
Tomorrow morning, bright and early. Probably a good idea.
well, we can always run by, depending on where it is.
Yeah, where is it exactly? We still got to kill a couple hours before we head over to Mirt's.
Alright,
See,
so you guys headed to one of the guilds then to ask about it?
yeah, I think we're gonna try. If it's not too late in the evening.
Yeah, right now it's maybe 5 o'clock, so you could probably get to one just before they close.
All right,
Okay.
all right, let's jog.
Dog.
Yeah,
Gotta
so
work off
you
that
guys-
stamina.
You guys head out of the inn and back into the city, kind of trying to pick up where Dorin had left off, since you hadn't done too much of the talking yourselves. But Dorin had at least left you the name for the guildmaster of the Fellowship of Innkeepers, one Broxley Fairkettle. And you head to the Fellowship Hall within the Castle Ward, which luckily isn't too far away. And so you get there a bit before closing, and you kind of come in and see it's a laid-back halfling with mutton chops and bushy eyebrows kind of greets you at the front door. Broxley Fairkettle, we're closing up for the day. Is there things that I can help you with, or would you like to make an appointment for tomorrow?
Well, one of our.
Oh,
You
sorry.
Go right ahead.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say that you'd previously at least spoken with one of our party members, Dorin Clegane, about.
Oh yes, you're the new
Yeah.
owners of Trollskull Manor. Yes, you
That
were
is
thinking of
correct.
reopening the tavern. Is that correct? Have you come with
That-
the down payment?
And she kind of looks around, like back to the group, like shrugs her shoulders, like, "Have we? Yes, that's why we came here, right?"
Yeah, I believe so.
Lovely. There's so few new taverns. They're few and far in between in the North World. I've been hoping that we would get another. It is 250 dragons for guild licenses and contracts to be paid up front, and then over the next 12 days you'll have time to place down 1,000 gold pieces throughout. Then anything else that you don't have at that point will be taken out of one of the loan money lending businesses or banks within town, and at reasonable interest rates. But should you pay everything by that point, then we will be all square.
Well, that seems to sound good. Anyone have any objections to that?
I don't think so.
Aye, Captain.
If you could just hand the coins over to my associate, Mr. Evan, and I will here. And he kind of reaches down and ruffles through his desk and pulls out a piece of paper. If you could just put your signatures at the bottom of this.
All right. And
Yep.
I'd also
got
like
it.
to pay 50 gold of the rest of the payment while we're here.
Of course. So 300 gold dragons. Yes, Mr. Evans, if you could count out 300 gold dragons from them, or the equivalent, as he sees that you have some platinum and silver in there. Just
Yeah, we'll give them 20 platinum and 100 gold dragons from it.
Well, I must say that I am quite interested in seeing how you all do, and wish you the best of luck moving forward. Thank you for your business. And he kind of rolls up the contract and puts it away. We will have workers there tomorrow morning, fresh and ready for work. Good day to you all. And he kind of shakes your hand. Oh, I didn't get your names. I'm at Dorin, and you are who's exactly?
Well, I'm Ezra.
Ezra, good to meet you. Broxley.
Durizen.
Durizen. Broxley, good to meet you.
Pats.
Pats! Oh, wonderful. You... Broxley, and you, madame?
Sorry?
Nadari. Broxley, Fairkettle, good to meet you all. I've got to finish up a few things before I close up. It was lovely to meet you. Mr. Evans will take care of you. And he kind of walks out, and the other, this human man kind of sitting back is slowly counting out the coins, and you all spend another half hour there or so as you slowly counts out, but finds that you have the 300 gold dragon equivalent, and kind of gives you the nod and puts his signature on the piece of paper and puts it back in Mr. Fairkettle's desk. And well, thank you all for your patronage. Like Mr. Fairkettle said, we will have workers at your establishment shortly to begin work. The rest of the 1,950 golden dragons will be due within 12 days' time.
That sounds good.
All right. Then you all have a wonderful day. And he begins to gather up the coin and put it into his own bag as he gets his things ready.
All right.
Wow.
About what time
That
is
was
it getting?
easy.
So we gotta work our butts off for the next week or so, huh?
Giving
It
away
looks
money's
like it.
always the easy part.
Oh goodness.
Well, I already got like 100 gold, so 850 to go.
I'm sure Leaf will appreciate it.
I hope so.
So, I think it's about time for us to head over to Mirt, talk to Asper. We need to kill some more time.
Actually, I'd like to handle my errand.
Yeah. Is
I mean,
Asper going to be at Mirt's
These are
place? Like this is
yes.
Mirt's place. That's like way
over
down,
here.
kind of.
This
Yeah.
is Mirt's. These are opposite parts of the city.
And let's see. You guys are currently. Hold on. Let me see where you guys are currently. Oh, that's not right.
Yes.
It's fine.
She comes out
exactly
from the
ready to
corner.
see.
She emerges from behind a building.
No! When you forget to loop the track instead of the queue. Alright. So yeah, you guys are in the castle ward, and where do I have this marked as the guild hall?
Power of the...
This is Fellowship of Innkeepers. And Fellowship
Mine is real
Hall.
close to our place. It's totally fine. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
kind of lost on my little screen trying to look at this map.
You're good. I've got it right here. Yeah, it is just north of the keep. See, save settings. So you guys will be right here, just up from Waterdeep Way.
Okay.
And about what time is it getting to be?
It is just about 6 o'clock at this point. And you do know that Mirt's mansion was down towards the south. I'll go ahead and mark that since you all would know where that is by now.
Yeah, we'd explored it
This
or
one.
walked
Yeah.
around it.
Right next to the two brothel places.
The nightclubs, yeah.
Woo!
Ooh.
I mean, that's a
Oh,
good distance away, but yes, they are nearby. Does this work? Oh, yeah. A good 500 feet or so.
hey.
500 feet from fun time.
A whole
This is
500
so big.
feet.
Is that scale right? I don't know if that scale is even right.
The pets, you want to go spend another like 10 gold on a drink?
You already know the answer to that one.
Yes.
Come on, I thought you knew me, Durizen. Yes, of course.
Oh my.
All right. So as you all kind of head over to maybe stop in a few nightclubs to spend some time before getting dinner, I think that is actually where we're going to wrap up for tonight, and we will catch up next week with dinner at the mansion, and then Nadari's quest to drop off the expose. But thank you all for joining us tonight for this episode of Dragon Heist, and we look forward to seeing you next week, next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. And we'll see you then.